Hey guys, and welcome back to another Matty Crafts video. In today's video, we're going to be making a Halo 2 Spectre. The Spectre was always a vehicle that I really loved in Halo 2, and I think I loved it even more just because I've never seen it in another Halo game, which to me is kind of crazy considering how much fun it was to just drive around in the game. But I'm going to be using Pink Panther foam and some white foam core here, and I'm just kind of judging how big I want this Spectre to be. I've never made one of these before, so I have no idea really what I'm doing, but I'm going to give it my best shot. The Spectre is a vehicle that is, I guess, a little bit like a Warthog in a way. It's definitely heavily armored, so it's going to look really beefy and bulky, but it's still going to have a slim kind of feel and look to it. Carving away all this styrofoam with my knife here, trying to be very careful and not hurting myself. You definitely want to be careful when you're working with styrofoam like this. I really had to pay attention to all the little grooves and details with this vehicle. There's actually a lot of weird little shapes, and midway through making this vehicle, I pretty much almost gave up on it. I was having a really hard time kind of figuring out what kind of shape I needed to use, but I just kept cutting away and carving away with this styrofoam, and then adding a few little detail lines in the Spectre as well. I really tried my best to give it that Spectre shape, and I think I did a pretty good job in the end, but it was definitely a long and hard journey along the way. Halo vehicles have always been something that I've been trying to get better at, and this is probably my 5th or 6th one that I've actually made, and I've been really enjoying making Halo vehicles. So let me know in the comments down below what vehicle you want to see next. I'm thinking a Banished Scarab V2 is definitely coming here soon, so let me know if you guys want to see another Banished Scarab. I had to add on a lot of little bits and pieces, and now we're going to be working on the very front. The cockpit piece is a little bit of a diamond kind of shape here in the front, and then I had to work and cut away on the bottom part and give it kind of like a hatch look. I really tried my best to keep it as game accurate as possible with all of my vehicle builds, but it can be pretty difficult sometimes working with styrofoam. So I also took this outside and used a ton of sandpaper on it afterwards just to give it that nice clean look, and it really helped. Now I'm going to be making these back little fins, and I used white dollar store foam core here, and then I doubled it up and bent it and then put one on each side. And after I did that, I really started to have some hope on if the Spectre was going to look good, and I really got some motivation to work on it. Now I have these Pink Panther foam blocks that are going to be holding these little figures in later. These are kind of like just a little bit of extra armor there too, to help the figures not get shot, I guess, or just to really keep them in place. But I tried my best to carve those out. It was a little tricky considering my little box cutter here is broken, and I literally can't find another one of these. It's kind of annoying, but it is what it is. Moving on to the turret here. The turret design was pretty simple. I've never made this turret design before, so it was a little complicated in the beginning, but I got it done. The nice thing about styrofoam is you get to be able to bend it and move it any way that you kind of need. And I also added some cardboard on the very bottom of the styrofoam here just to give it a little bit of a more durable shape in the future. Sometimes you want to definitely kind of back up your styrofoam with a little bit of a different material so it doesn't end up breaking. Then I just attached the two little side turret pieces here, one bottom piece, the gun in the middle, and we attached the top piece of the turret. And that was starting to look really good. Now I had to work on these little back thrusters that are in the video game, and these were kind of interesting to say the least. Like I've said, never made this project before, so I had to figure it out. But I pretty much just kind of made like turtle shells, if that makes sense, and just kind of rolled with that. And they turned out pretty good. I was pretty happy with them. Once you hit them with sandpaper, it really changes how they look a lot, and they look really good. So I just attached those right onto the back of the Spectre, and then I also added a little bit more detail pieces in some area. I didn't add a ton of detail to this Spectre, considering the Spectre itself in Halo 2 doesn't really have a massive amount of detail, but I tried my best. Now we moved over to Mod Podge here, and Mod Podge is going to really seal the foam and make it feel almost like plastic. It definitely helps a lot because you don't have to do a base coat of black paint if you do 1 to 2 layers of Mod Podge. So I did 2 layers of Mod Podge onto this, and then I was going to go with a green, but it looked really ugly, so I just went for a traditional Covenant kind of purple. And once you get all that Mod Podge on there, painting is really smooth and simple. And actually, when you have all these little cracks and grooves from cutting with your knife, the Mod Podge really takes those kind of away. It kind of makes it, like I said, feel like plastic, which is super helpful when it comes to making these little projects. Now I needed to do some silver detailing on some areas to give this spectre a little bit of life. Now I just kind of looked from the anniversary game, and it gave me a pretty good idea of what kind of silver detailing I needed to do, and then I just kind of made some stuff up as well. Very minor, very minimal, but it actually goes a really long way of just making this thing look a little less just like a purple blob. So I started just tapping that around all around the spectre here, and taking my time with it to not really get it into any places that I didn't want it to be. Definitely helps with a little bit of freehand painting, and I'm getting a little bit better with that, so I'm super happy. And then I used a little bit of masking tape here just to tape off this one section, and it still bled through the masking tape a little bit, which is annoying, but I tried my best. Also had to paint the turret gun here, the entire thing silver for the turret stand, and then that took about 2 coats. And then a little bit of silver detailing on the turret itself. And that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this awesome Spectre build. So I want to talk about the channel a little bit. I've been really working on a huge side project along the way, and it's going to be coming out the day before Halo Infinite drops. It's going to be something really awesome and really exciting, and that's why I haven't been uploading as much. So just be patient. I'm going to continue to upload at a decent pace, but it's going to be really awesome, guys. Anyway, I appreciate you all being here. Thanks so much for tuning in. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, comment, all those fun things to help the channel grow, and I'll see you guys all later. Peace.